Hello guys, how are you? And welcome for the second episode of Smart Keys, the podcast of Progress. And today we have a special guest that will stay with us forever. So from now on, every time that you will watch us, you will watch also Panos, Panuli, Tolhs, 8, 6, 10, whatever you want to name it. Panos, you want to present yourself? Or to make it in Greek?
Καλώς ήρθατε λοιπόν σε ένα δεύτερο επεισόδιο podcast, το οποίο λέγεται Smart Keys. Σήμερα θα είμαι και εγώ μαζί σας και ελπίζω να είναι η τελευταία φορά που θα είμαι μαζί σας. Όχι πλάκα κάνω, θα είμαι μάλλον και τις επόμενες φορές. Αυτά.
We can say it also that you will watch us in YouTube, in our Instagram page, and of course in Panos' private profile. In all these platforms you can watch the podcast. So after the last time that we spoke a bit about our investment and what we did and how we does, we got some questions that come up. We will try to touch in the question that people ask. Not all the time it will be exactly in the way that they ask the question, because we try to create the content that people can understand, even that they don't have a big knowledge. So also for you guys, when you add some questions in the comments, try to understand that we'll answer about the subject in general and we will not touch on specific things, and we'll try to connect our personal stories and our personal experience and our personal history. Mm-hmm. But before we start all this, I want to say how, because it's one of the questions that come up, how opportunity become a potential and how potential become a value. And I will give it with a nice story. So 2018, we go back when Corona was just a beer. I working in Ladadica. Ladadica in that time was starting, let's say more or less in Pozzoli Pizza. Not
Valaurito.
Yeah, Valaurito, let's say, but not above, like it's now that it's crossing. Even under Valaurito, let's say Lados. Mm-hmm. Starting and over of Ladadica. And I walk and I just finish. I thought that I just finished the first project. It was a project that I bought with the clients, with investors. We explain how it's going. And I need to make a photo shooting for the apartment that just finished, because you know it's the first project and blah blah blah. And I know to catch potential. I'm not good in a lot of things, but you know what? I'm good in catching potential.
I can confirm it.
And then I saw a guy, I cannot say beautiful, I cannot say skill, I cannot say a lot of things, but lay down on the street and take a photo shooting like it's the most important thing on his life. And I said, this is the guy that I will need to fill my apartments. And this is the guy that I want to take. And I come and I say, hello, what's your name?
My name is Panos. What do you want?
Yes, and that's how I met you. And this is what I try to say, that sometimes during our life we have an opportunity that I need a photographer, and we met there when you are on the ground and you're photo shooting another Panos, if I remember correct.
Yeah, Panos.
And I told you, let's start this cooperation. And 7 years after, here we film a podcast that you really don't want to be inside. But you don't have another choice because you say yes back then when we was in Ladadica. So that's how we met, and this is also part of the podcast today, how from an opportunity that was just to take a picture from apartment, you know, in few words what you did in the company 7 years ago until what you are doing today, what is the development that you pass inside of the company that was from opportunity to potential to value.
Yeah, you want me to say a few words about this? Okay. So yes, when I started with the company, with Gal, I started in the very first days like a photographer. Like in the first week, it was a photographer. After 1-2 weeks, he told me, you know what? I don't really need a photographer. It's a waste of money, let's be honest. So I want something else. I want someone that will run with me, let's say, for the long term, that will work with me. And this is how it started. In the beginning, we were working like in a house, maybe in a bench that we find.
I think that in the beginning you don't work just here. I mean,
I was working also in an escape room. Yeah,
it was freelance position in Progress.
Yeah. But I remember the funny thing is that we were working also in weird places, maybe where we had Wi-Fi in the beginning, which is part of life. So it started like very, let's say, low, and then we start to acquire a few more properties, and the position started to grow a bit, until we reached today, 7 years later, let's say, that now I'm in a position to say, no, I don't want to be in the podcast, but I'm in the podcast.
Yeah, so today you are managing big parts of the company and you're running with us, and I think that most of the people that knows Progress in the end knows you. I mean, I believe that in the city, half of the people doesn't even knows me, and they knows you and as the face of Progress. And if you say something about the Wi-Fi, a story that I remember, when we just started the business, yes, I was running without Wi-Fi, and this is something that I also want to say to the people that listen. And in the first time that we make the podcast, we spoke a lot if you need to start with a lot of money to create this specific kind of business. And what you're saying now, of course, the previous episode we said that it's not necessary, but what you're saying now is that in the beginning, what I remember is that when we negotiate with people, can I come to visit the place? I negotiate between hotels that I was sleeping because I have Wi-Fi just outside of the hotels. And sometimes I go to eat in a place just because I know that it's next to a new project, and then I will have a Wi-Fi in this place, so I get the... And all these stories of the beginning, it's a totally different reality of what we have today, but it's also an opportunity to tell to people that just start that there is no shame on any start. If you start without possibilities, or you create a possibility during the journey, all these things can happen. I mean, it's something that can happen and change. And after we discuss about that, I want to answer for a question that came up from in the comments in the last episode. Let's say we speak about potential to value, or how to find the potential on how we meet. But let's talk a bit about properties, because 2017, when we just start, or maybe it was before even you start, it was when I was alone, Thessaloniki specific, almost everything was for sale. Yeah. If you remember when we just start in 2018, when you connect us and you start to join us to my meetings, almost everything that we want to be for sale was for sale. The economic situation of the city was different, the market was different, the commercial to residential, this is our project, was almost out of market. I think that we was one of the only one that does it, specifically in our area. Also, this is something that we can discuss when we need to find the potential. It's not just to find the property, it's also to find the location. But I will leave it for after. And in few words, things, funny stories that you remember, or interesting stories that you remember about the beginning, but after we decide to not work just with agents.
Fun stories.
You remember what we did?
I remember many things, but I think
you remember that
we cannot say all of the things.
No, we can say, maybe we'll cut it. But for example, the letters.
Yeah, this is what I thought. Look, when we started, we had to find a way to find properties. Of course, the agents was one way, was not the best way, because if I remember correct, in 2018 that I started, even the agents didn't really believe in the way that we worked. You remember?
Yeah.
We speak with them, we find properties that they were commercial, and we say, you know what, we want to change them to residential, and they were not. They were like, are you sure about it? You want to do it?
Let's be honest also on something that also we was not sure about it, and that's why we give up on a lot of opportunities. And everyone that listen now and will say Progress, in the beginning they take every opportunity, they know to catch opportunities. You remember the property in front of the new hotel in Tsimitski?
This is what I thought.
In front of Tsimitski, I think Tsimitski 2, we got a deal for 600 euro per square meter, 2 floors on Tsimitski with 2 elevators with nice building, and we say 500.
Yeah. And okay, you said it.
Yeah, I said it. I think this one. Like 600, 500. Like what will make the difference, this 100 euro per square meter? But it's not issue of price. It was not issue of price. It was confident. I didn't feel secure enough to take something, and I just searched an excuse. And the excuse was this 100 euro.
Yeah. It was uncertainty, yes, and also when you didn't have the confidence from the agents, like we said in the market, you were the only one we were the only one who was doing this thing, so it was a risk for us. That's why we didn't take some projects. So anyway, I go back to what I was saying. When we kind of didn't get the help that we needed from agents in the market, or we didn't find good deals in the market, I remember that we were walking through areas that 7 years ago you wouldn't really like to walk, and we started to go inside buildings, we started to leave papers under the doors or outside of the doors. We were like claiming, "Hi, I'm Panos, I want to buy your property, please call me," something like this. This was one way that is funny, that we were trying to go inside. We go inside buildings that they were kind of abandoned. They were a bit scary.
What is kind of abandoned? You remember what I found here in my building? Without to say addresses, so all the fans will not run to my house to search. But you remember, in the first time that I literally broke the entrance door, because it was like, I don't know even to call it an entrance door. It was like a piece of iron that someone put that it will be closed, because when he shit in my in the corridor of the entrance of this building, he didn't want that people from outside will see him. And we are very close to here another project, and all the time I said, this building looks empty. This building looks empty. And then one day I opened the door. I remember I was alone or with the real estate agent that we don't work with there anymore, unfortunately. If she watch it, and then to keep a personal relationship. And then we saw one guy put heroin in front of the elevator, and one guy shit in the end where is the old entrance of the office. You remember it from the backside? And I said, what the fuck? How much potential? How much potential? Who will fight with me? Who will negotiate with me? I can give any offer that I want. Who will negotiate with me when I give him a possibility to sell his property when someone in the entrance make heroin?
Yeah.
Who will negotiate with me? I can buy it in any price that I want. And we really, in the first 3-4 floors that we bought in this building, was like 500 euro, when we bought in this area already 700-800 euro per square meter. So it was amazing potential. But if we speak about it, and this is funny story that we did about ourselves, that we put letters and we tell people call us, and then someone call us, hey, how you find me, and blah blah blah. But also other ways to find a property that it's not just by real estate agent. And I want to say also something for that. It's not mean that you cannot find good deals with real estate agent. The opposite. I think that someone that wants to control in a market need to work with a lot of agents and needs to respect the job of the agent. And also there is some agents that gives some good deals. But also there is another alternative. For example, if we speak about how you said kinochista in English?
Common expenses.
Common expenses company. Yeah. I'm sure that every one of you that watching now and say, I cannot find a good deal. If you will walk, I don't know where you live, but let's say that you live in the city center, most of the buildings are 8 floors. If you go to the 8th floor with the elevator and you go down until down, you will find at least one property that is abandoned.
Correct.
So there is no excuse. This is the way to find these properties. And in the end of the day, a property that on the door you see bills of more than 4 or 5 months, most of the time, is empty and abandoned. A property that you can see birds go inside and outside from the street. You go on the street and you see why that house with people will happen. A place that you can see, that you can smell something. If you live in the building and you know that it's empty, even more easy. If not, speak with a common expenses company. Do you have a problem in my building with someone that doesn't pay? Someone that doesn't pay sometimes doesn't live there. All these problems can create a huge potential, and someone that will say, the birds go inside and outside, maybe there is a sickness inside and stuff like that. Okay, in your point of view it can be sickness, in my point of view it can be potential. Everything can be clean and can be renovated, and maybe it will help me to negotiate. So I think that the journey between how to find an opportunity to create potential and then how you make value from it, start on how much effort you're going to spend to find this potential.
How much you want it. It's correct. Because if you really want it, like you said, you will find a way to find a property even in your building.
Which property we really want and we find in the end? That it took time.
if I say all of them.
No. One of them that you remember that was extremely
I
difficult.
remember one that we not find that we closed. It's a bit different.
Which one?
Karoli.
Why it was
that
difficult?
We really wanted to close it.
The first and the fifth floor, or
Yeah, the first and the fifth floor.
why it was so difficult?
It was impossible to communicate with the owners. But in the end, we did it.
Why we did it in the end?
In the end, you did it.
Yeah, but why you think that it was difficult?
I'm not sure if I can give the exact reasons. If you remember in all our conversation with the owners, it was they were not sure if they want to sell it. In the end, they wanted to sell it, but they didn't want to sell it in this price, in the X price, let's call it. In the end, we find the price, and then we find a difficulty with the lawyer, and then with the lawyer, we go back to the owners. It was a matter of communication. I think this was the main difficulty.
I will say something a bit different about
Okay.
it. That the guys can get also. There are two things that make, in my point of view, the first and the fifth floor to be closed. The first one is change of law. If you remember, the first floor, the height is 2.5. In the past, the law said that you cannot make residential under 2.5,
Correct.
2.6, sorry. And when the law changed, it gives the gap that, okay, I can close. Yeah. So this was the first one, and I think that maybe the most crucial one. The second one, when people think sometimes about to find an opportunity to create its potential and then to create value, they believe that it needs to be opportunity that they have in mind, a potential that they want to win, and a value that they're expecting to get. And in this deal, we didn't get the price that we want.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that we offer in the beginning 20-30% under what they offer, because it was a bit above the market. But in the end, we didn't close in the price that we first give. And I remember that because the negotiation was so long, in a point, I told you, bro, the 10% that they ask above us, it's already the market value.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's give up. Not give up on the deal, the opposite. Let's say that we will win a bit less than what we're expecting, because the market is already changed, and the price now that they ask, after we took them down a bit, it's fair. And I think that what you add to this conversation that I didn't use in the two reasons is the personal relationship when you make with people that you negotiate with them. A lot of time when people are negotiating, they believe that they need to come, I'm in this side and you are in this side, and we are enemies.
Yeah.
And a lot of time in these deals, at least in Thessaloniki, I feel it, that the amount of money that I give to the guys, it's a game changer. In this deal, I think it was around 1 million. It's a game changer that the 100,000 extra, it will be just ego. And ego, you give up more easy with your ego to people that you like. And for example, if your son will tell you, Dad, I want to get this toy, and you tell him no, and you'll start a game of ego, okay, it's your son. You like your son. In the end, if you'll see that you succeed to educate him a bit, that he doesn't get whatever he wants, you will buy him something. And this is what I feel also in negotiation. A lot of time, the ego start to speak, and then because people doesn't create personal relationship, the ego become a wall. But I ask 100,000 more. Yes, but let's be honest, the two sisters that we sold them, the 1 million, maybe 3 generations now will be okay with money-wise, because of this 1 million euro that we give them. Specifically to the way of life that they have before. Maybe they will totally change the standard of life and stuff like that, but to the way of life that they lived before.
To be honest, just to interrupt you on this specific case, because I know them personally, we kept the relationship, and we still see each other sometimes, and we say, hey, how are you? How is the business going? Yeah, this money helped them a lot, and they open a business, a new business, they help the kids, they buy a few properties, so in the end, everybody was happy.
Yeah.
And by the way, the relationship part played a big role in this, because still today, when they see me, they say, hey, Panos, how are you? Come, let me hug you and say hello to Gal.
Yeah.
This is important.
And this is important, and I think that this was also part of the key to close this specific deal. I want to use another one that was complicated because it's a bit different way of deal, let's say. Property that we buy from kind of auction in vacuum, that it's also not so far away. We closed the deal when we was still in this office, so it was like 3 years ago.
Even 4.
Maybe 4 years ago.
3 years ago? No, it's 4 years
4 years ago, we closed the deal, we closed the prices, we closed everything, and then we passed to the lawyer side, and they said, okay, the property is in auction, it will take some time, it will take some time, it will take... time pass. Okay, the project is ready now. Let's say that we bought it before 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more than 3 years. Before 1 year, maybe a bit more. So
1 a bit.
Yeah. But still, it was a project that we need to keep the price that we negotiate for so many years. That of course the market totally changed and the area totally changed and stuff like that totally changed. But during this negotiation, we increased the price in almost 25%. And what was interesting in this deal is to fight with my own ego. It's not with the ego of them even, it's with my own ego. How can I, after we sign a contract, to give more money? And the right and left that I have is, don't give more money and take the risk that maybe the deal will be off. Mm-hmm. Don't give more money and take the risk that maybe we'll show it to another agent that will bring another potential buyer. Don't increase the money and maybe the bank will not agree to move on with you. Or take the ego to the side and let's play according to leave the contract. We agreed on something, leave it. It's on the side, it's not interesting anymore. Mm-hmm. Let's focus on how we close this deal because it's according to our plans and it's in a building that we want and it's in location that we believe, and let's finish it. And I think that we pay extra 200,000 in the end, all the other expenses that we didn't thought that come, by the way, directly from our pocket because buyers we have from the past.
Yeah.
We tell them what will be the price and stuff like that, so we lose it from our pocket, but ego on the side, still the profit was good enough because otherwise I will not do it. And it was super complicated deal that we saw the potential, we understand what will be the value totally changed, but it was still full of potential.
Yeah, we saw the vision from the beginning, and even if it took like 3-4 years, the total duration of the deal, it's still a profitable deal and still a very good investment in the end for us and for the buyers of us.
Let's speak now about from the other side. Project that we give a lot of attention, let's say, mm-hmm. energy, but it was mistake. In the end of the day, it didn't work. I mean, the question that came in the comments was, tell us some mistakes that happened during the way. I can speak about general mistakes. You know what? Let's speak about general mistakes.
Why not specific mistakes?
Specific mistakes, but without to use names and locations.
What are the odds that someone from specific buildings will see us? You're a risky person.
Welcome. I'm happy that from a person that you was angry on him because we make a mistake, you decide to follow me and to learn from us and to join us to our Smart Keys podcast.
So, I think 4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, one day we were walking in a very nice street today that was not ready in that year. Me, you, and a very nice agent that we really like. We work with her. You remember her? She's blonde.
Continue.
I tried to give you the info. So we're walking. They say, okay, I will take you to this amazing floor. It's in a very nice green building on the outside. The number is 20, let's call it 20, okay. And we walk inside, we go up to the 3rd floor, I think on foot because the elevator was not working. And then we go inside and say, wow. You say, wow, let's close it. And I say, I don't remember if I told you, but I always thought, and always in my stories and in my mind, I say, why we bought this property?
Yes, I know.
So they continue?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you said, you know what, I want to take it. And we closed it at that moment. It was, I think, the only deal that we closed in that moment. You shake hands. I don't understand why until today.
We got amazing price.
But was it worth it?
Look, worth it. It's I will tell you. I will give example. I will give example from our life. Okay.
Okay.
In the end of the day, when a player go to shoot a penalty, he go to shoot a penalty because he want to score. If he miss the ball, he will say why this specific player shoot a penalty.
Yeah.
But most of the time he score. We didn't have a red flags on this building beside in also the stomach feeling that you speak now that you have back then is a stomach feeling that we have almost in every deal that we have, and in the end of the day 95% of them nothing happened. Okay?
Well, the 5% though.
The 5% go with us for almost 4 years, and it was complicated. And also here I want to say that we took a lot from the ego to the side to find a way and solution. By the way, if you ask me what was my mistake on this building, it was not that we took the deal, and it was not the general assembly of the building. It was the business plan.
Okay.
I disvalue the apartment in this business plan. The profit of the company, because it's not so big project, was not big enough. Part of the business plan for me, it's another floors. I didn't negotiate aggressive enough in another floors in this building to be a strong identity in the building. I mean that I will have 20 apartments and a lot of square meters, so I can do whatever not whatever I want with my limits, but stronger. This was bigger problem for me because in the end of the day, when you don't, I discharge in this project. I supposed to charge at least 5,000-6,000 more per apartment. That it's almost double my profit in this project. And then when you go to a project that you don't profit enough, and this is also something that I learned to say to the clients. A lot of time in our kind of project, not when someone buy a ready property, but in our kind of project that it's a development project, if the developer doesn't win enough, he doesn't put a lot of effort, okay? And not because he doesn't want, because he doesn't have the sources. He doesn't have the money power to send you every day to the building. And in this project, because we didn't charge enough, we didn't have enough people to handle the situation. And I said again, the problem was not in the apartment, not in the building, not in the location. It was in other things. And yes, it was one of our biggest mistakes. And I said again, I think that one of the biggest mistakes start from wrong business plan. And I say it specifically here because I believe that most of the people that listen to us believe that we are genius of business plan if we create this business. And the answer is 100% no, it's not correct. Almost in every project, during the project, we are realizing that we charge not enough for the product that we create in the end because it takes time and the city is developed. It's part of our strategy also. We prefer to sell product off market, under market value, fast, with clients that we know and we choose, and to not have difficulties on this part of collecting money, then to take the maximum that you can and to create clients that they are not satisfied and maybe to overcharge and stuff like that. This is part of the business plan. We are speaking also quality, but also quantity in progress, and this is part of the things that we did. And this is one of the big mistakes.
Of the big mistakes. You have another one in your mind?
I have a lot.
Okay.
I have a lot. One of the biggest mistakes, in my point of view, today, it's not big. It's not a mistake anymore, and it's become something that we're proud of. It's the management company. The decision to open management company in the first 2 years, maybe even 3. Was a decision that now when everything works well, bravo. But it was a non-profitable company for the first 3 years. I mean, it's a company that make me take money from my pocket in the first 3 years just to give this service. And I don't want to say that my proud make me say that one day it will be profitable, because I saw the Excel and the Excel say it to me. But on the other side, if something will fail, the management company will be a company that maybe will be the reason that I collapse. I mean, during COVID, that it's also a mistake that we can discuss. During COVID, Progress doubled himself. I mean, if we speak about the amount of project that we have, during COVID, a lot of people decide to take the money back and to be safe. And we thought that Greece is a country that depends on tourists, and there is no chance that they will close the borders for more than half of year. I mean, the winter maybe will be closed, but the summer for sure will be open because the country depends on it, and it was a risk that we take that can be a huge mistake. And in the end, because a lot of people take their money back and cancel deals, we find a lot of deals in the market that already the owner already win 30,000 from someone that decided to go back, and we got the property in a huge discount. So yes, this is things that I think that they are a mistake. I also think that during the beginning, again, it's mistake that we can say them now, but in the beginning, like I said about Simitski, we didn't go for project that was not 100%, and it was a small mistake. Again, we can understand it in 2025 when we understand where the city goes.
I remember also another project that I'm not sure if you remember, because there were times that I was just sending you projects and I was like, Gal, you know what, I found this one, maybe it's interesting, and you were like, no, on the next trip of Aristoteles, it's not relevant. You remember the big hotel that they make in Aristoteles?
The big hotel that they make in Aristoteles?
I think the name is Zeus, the one with the bar on the rooftop. We spoke about it one moment. I don't remember what was your answer, but we just give up on it.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what it was, because it was 6 years ago, 5 years ago when I started. But I'm sure that we leave some projects like this.
Yeah, we have a lot of projects that I believe that we leave like this. Also, one of the reasons that it's the way of collecting money. I mean, if we speak about the way that we collect money today, we collect money from investors. We don't bring. We use our pocket. Today we use more, but we use our pocket, but not with the majority of the money. And when you don't go with the majority of the money, you need also to remember that when you put down payment, if you don't have people to sell them the product, and there is limit back then of how much property we can sell per month, it's problematic. And yes, we lose some deals on this. So this all for today. 30 something minutes that you run in the gym, that you listen doing your driving on the car. Be careful, another car. No, I'm joking. Guys, add comments in the episode. It helps us to understand what you want to know. In the next time, we'll go for more deep conversation and more personal stories about deals that come up, that didn't come up, about difficulties that happen, about how we build the team, how we build the system, what we are trying and planning for the future, what we are finding in Thessaloniki that will help you to see if you can find it in another cities, or to join us in our lovely city. So we'll see you in the next time. Until then, go to the personal profile of Panos, search it. By the way, small advice, if you listen to the podcast and you hear blonde agents go work better with Panos, so you can try to do it.
Especially.
Enjoy. And see you in the next time. Have fun and thank you.
Bye-bye.